Hey guys, welcome back. We just finished week 13 here, moving on to week 14, final week of the regular season coming up.
We made it.
We made it, and perfect time to have our last guest on the show. As you guys can see there at the bottom, he will join us in a bit. For now, let's get into the stories of the week. Yeah, so to start off, I don't know if you guys saw the game Monday night. I don't know, I know I did, and the game was kind of crappy until the last 3 minutes
Till
of
the
that.
end.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. And then I kind of doubted Brady. I'm not gonna lie.
Hmm.
It 16-3 with like 3 or 5 minutes left, and he pulls it off, wins 17-16. That's something only Brady could have done. Maybe Mahomes, maybe, but I'd only give that to really Brady. He's clutch like that, and I think they're very much alive, and they're probably gonna hold on to that 4 seed in the NFC. I don't know what they'll do. They'll have a home playoff matchup, so they could end up winning. But that's all I think.
Yeah. And then next match or next big story of the week, the Lions thrashed the Jags 40-14. And I guess they're really they're kind of the it team. I mean, just the Lions, their rushing attack has been consistent. Their offense, I mean, last year we saw flashes of it, but it's been consistent this year. The defense has caught up and they're looking really good. Definitely an improved team and a team that's on the up. So good to see that from them. And then the final story, Deshaun Watson made his debut this week and played terribly. He was abysmal. The Browns still won, but on the back of their defense, I think they scored
And
three.
special teams.
Yeah, defense and special teams. It was I guess Peoples Jones returned the kick, was it? And
Punt,
then they got
I would say.
or punt, and then they got three defensive touchdowns. So not on the back of Deshaun Watson, but they ended up beating the Texans. The Browns, maybe, in theory with Deshaun Watson, might, be able to make a late season push. Not right now. He didn't contribute to the offense, but they still got to win. So just something to look out for. Maybe that team is going to be one that will continue to improve over the final few weeks of the season.
He'll get better, I think. It'll just be a
Mm-hmm.
tough stretch ahead. They have the Bengals up next.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you can see, they have the Bengals up next, who just took out the Chiefs. So we chose them as the upset of the week because there wasn't really many upsets. The only other debatable one was the Raiders defeating the Chargers, which wasn't really much of an upset. The Raiders have been looking good recently, but the Bengals have had the Chiefs number. They've won like three straight matchups against Mahomes and the Chiefs. They've looked good. They've been up the whole game. At least this one, they've been up the whole game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it'll be interesting to see what happens if they meet again in the playoffs. I kind of think the Bengals would win that, but you never know. You never want to bet against Mahomes. You want to talk about that blowout, Anthony?
Yeah. So the Cowboys just obliterated the Colts. And we'll talk about this matchup. This was a significant matchup to our fantasy football, play just our league this week. But Cowboys just dominated the Colts. It was never really close. The Colts have just looked bad. They've looked stagnant. Matt Ryan didn't look good. Jonathan Taylor has looked the shell of himself. It's not a very good team, and the Cowboys are hitting their stride. The NFC East, there's like a real chance that we could send 4 teams to the playoffs this year. I mean, I guess we'll talk about why maybe that's a little bit altered now, but NFC East is one of the best divisions in the league, and the Cowboys are making a push to be, right up there with the Eagles going into the postseason.
Definitely. And I mean, the Cowboys went 33, won the fourth quarter 33-0. That's just crazy there. Lastly, a tie. I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, obviously it pushed us out of the playoffs for the time being, which isn't great. Because the Seahawks won. But I mean,
I think it puts us in a good spot. We have a bye week coming up this week. Our next game is against the Giants again, I'm pretty sure. So we just have a week to go back. The Giants are going to have to play this week, and then come into a game
Eagles
against
this week too.
We
That's
get a
tough
week
game.
off just to rest, analyze this last game, come back better. And the Giants are going to have to be Chase Young going to be returning. Hopefully Montez Sweat will be back to, just hopefully we'll be a little bit healthier. And, the Giants are just going to be fatigued from having to play the Eagles and then us again. So hopefully that ends up well for us. We're still very much in the playoff race. But, a tie obviously isn't as good as a win. It would have been nice to pick up a win, especially a division one. So unfortunate we missed out there. All right. And with that, we have our final guest. We've made it through all 8 league members, all 8 other league members. He's here.
There he is. Joel the legend. How are you doing, man?
Thank you. Doing well.
Okay.
How are you guys?
Good.
I mean, we're not as good as you, clearly, at fantasy wise. We can, we can let you talk about your team and stuff. But yeah, we were, I guess we were just talking about the Commanders, the win over the Giants. We have a fellow Commanders fan. It's like half Commanders, half Ravens, our chat, I feel like. So nice to have a Commanders fan with us as well. But you beat me this week, Joel. I'm kind of upset about it. I mean, we'll talk about it more.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But,
unfortunate.
yeah, talk a bit about your team, Joel. And I mean, obviously you're original member. Tell us a bit about yourself and everything.
Sure. Yeah. Original fantasy member. Had some ups and downs throughout the recent years. So I think I have 2 championships in total. I think one of them was 3 years ago, followed up by a last in the league performance, which it was tough to come back from that. But my team last year, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Deebo Samuel, and I lost to Anthony in the final. It's a well fought game there, but rough to not win it all with that team I had last year. But yeah, this year I really lucked out to even be in playoff contention. My draft did not go how I expected. Getting guys like Allen Robinson, Elijah Moore, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, like barely played this year, but still have a chance to make the playoffs. So we'll see. Comes down to this last week.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
this is.
Guess we'll get into the matchups from this past week. I guess we'll start. Jacob, unfortunately, not able to win and keep your playoff hopes alive. It was
I'm out.
Sad to see for you. Ian,
Not even
taking
close.
a win. Yeah, I would say that was kind of brutal too. It wasn't a lot you could have done there. Ian, big win against Matt Cohen. He kind of keeps his spot at the top of the league. I think he pretty much clinched up.
He's the first
bye week now.
Big win.
He's won.
With Sammy losing.
Yeah, it's true.
Sorry to spoil everything, but
I mean, we can skip over Matt beating Alex is whatever. Matt's like a joke team. He doesn't really matter. Joel, fraud team. Joel, we're going to talk about this matchup on the next slide, but just an awful matchup. Not really, just terrible, kind of representative of my whole season, I feel like, and just didn't go my way. And Ian is now first because Adwin pulled out just one of the best performances, like one of the highest scoring games of this season, and dropped 145 on Sammy. So I don't know where he's
the highest scoring player.
He's kept himself in the playoffs and knocked Sammy out of first place. So good for Adwin, I guess.
And if you look at that, second highest player of everybody played, Cleveland defense behind Hurts. That's good for them.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into that matchup that we were just talking about. You two who wants to take it over? Probably Joel.
Sure.
Yeah, Joel.
So I've heard a lot of talk about my team being fraudulent on this podcast. Probably have to agree. Like early on this season, I was like, I still have hope. Like some of these guys are just underperforming at the start. But I mean, I've just really lucked into a lot of wins. Like gotta be honest about that. This week is another example of that. I mean, if it wasn't for Lamar getting hurt, I would have lost pretty clearly. It was rough having to start a guy like Tyler Algier. Just had to pick him up off of waivers like 5 minutes.
So you started my leftovers against me and beat me with them.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful.
I
He
don't
was
know,
too
just
bad
kinda-
for me. I was like, I don't want Alex
The
here
worst
anymore.
team in the
I'm cutting
league
him.
dropped him. He gets
He
picked
was
up
too
by
bad for me.
a mediocre team, and
Yeah.
they win.
I don't know. Just
What
been
does that
somehow getting wins. I don't know. Just like putting random guys in the lineup. Donovan Peoples-Jones got a kick return touchdown.
In
Like
Bucks,
two catches.
You could say that won you it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that did win you it.
the Bucks defense almost
They
gave the game
saved
away
you
at the end there. Yeah.
That was the most annoying part because despite everything else, it came down to the Bucks defense, and I was only down by like a point at one point. It was close, and then the Saints' last drive got a sack, pushed them back. You ended up getting 2 more points because of like the yards allowed, and that was just like that was it. I had no more hope after that.
Yeah. It's tough.
Brutal. But keeps Joel alive.
It does.
well alive. But we can go to mine. Wasn't close really at all. I mean, I didn't have D-Hop or Marquise Brown, which kind of hurt, and I don't really have a tight end anymore since I lost Zach Ertz. But like my best players, my 3 best players, like ETN, Chubb, Godwin, even Fields, like they all just like underperformed, like way heavily, way too much. Jamal touchdown, that's all he does. Traylon Burks touchdown gets hurt, like of course. Like I looked good in the beginning of this game. I was up by like 60 because everybody scored right away, and then I swear I didn't score again until like my kicker, Jason Myers, scored 10 points. I think he was my second highest scoring player, like which is crazy.
You were hyped right after Traylon Burks scored that touchdown. He was unconscious in the end zone, and you were like, "Great!" You were like, "I got it."
He didn't come back in the game, right?
I didn't think he was coming back.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
that was the only. That was the only thing he did in the game. He made that catch and then went on and went into concussion protocol. Those were his 2 actions.
It was brutal for him, but I mean, once we got to the 4:00 games, it was like Devontae Adams, T. Higgins, somebody else going.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, Garrett. Yeah, I don't know. He just started like continuing to score points and it just got way out of hand way too fast. Lost by almost, I think, over 50, which is brutal. I'm done now, so sucks to see. Let's get to the standings.
Yeah, so now we see we got 2 people out now, I guess, me and you, the 2 podcast hosts have tumbled out of the playoffs and performed horribly. We have another clinch now. Matt Levin is in the playoffs. Ian, top of the league now, or top of the fantasy football league now, yeah. Alex pretty much clinched the playoffs effectively. Joel somehow has managed to be above him with just over 1,300 points. I have more points than Joel. Adwin has more points than everyone except Jacob has more points than Joel. But he's managed to be 5th. And then Yusuke has the last playoff spot right now. But it's close. There's a lot of between Joel to Adwin. All those teams have a chance to make the playoffs. All those teams couldn't make it. This last week is going to be really important.
Definitely is. Sucks we're out, but we'll get into those playoff scenarios in a little bit. See who clinches, gets those final spots. But for now, it looks like Ian and Sammy will most likely get that bye. As you can see on the right, me and Anthony have been eliminated over there.
Very out.
And right now, Matt Cohen and Adwin kind of fighting to stay alive this week. They both have solid chances to make the playoffs, I would say. Kind of need some help, but it's definitely possible. And Matt Cohen and Joel have a big matchup this week. Kind of winners in, right? I believe that's it. It'll be a big matchup there. Yeah. Let's get into those playoff scenarios.
Yeah, I'd say this is all like a mouthful, and I don't really know. I don't really know how much I understand all of this properly. Alex, I know pretty much is in. Alex is in effectively. He just needs to like not get outscored by 100 points, and Alex is in the playoffs. Joel, you are in control of your own destiny. By luck, you have ended up in a position where if you beat Matt Cohen, you're in. So you're like pretty much solid. But if not, because you have so few points, you need help from like the rest of you need, I don't know who Adwin and Yusuke are matched up against.
I play Adwin and Yusuke plays
Okay.
Ian. So me and Adwin,
So Yusuke,
Adwin's been
so
playing
that's-
well, but I think it's still a toss up. And then Yusuke and Ian, Yusuke's been playing well, but Ian's the best team in the league. So
yeah, I would say I feel like Ian probably beats Yusuke.
Yeah, the way my season's been going though, I'll probably get in the playoffs by losing this week and having Adwin and Yusuke lose. Like that's probably the most likely scenario.
I would love.
You're gonna get in with help, 100%.
Joel, if you somehow win it all this year, like I swear to God.
Oh my gosh!
Just everyone's quarterback gets injured.
Everyone would hate you, Joel. But honestly, you kind of deserved it last year. So I mean, in a way,
that's true.
Yeah,
it would bounce out.
It would be karma. It would be the fantasy football gods evening out.
Yeah, and if Anthony, you finish last, that would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, so with Yusuke, Matt Cohen, and Adwin. I mean, Yusuke, it kind of again with him, it's win and he's in. He plays Ian. It's gonna be a tough game, but if Matt and Adwin both lose, he's in. So he's above 54. But Matt Cohen somehow has a better percent chance to win there, or make the playoffs. But he again, if he wins, he's in against Joel. Adwin and Yusuke, if they lose, but Matt has more points than them, he'll be in. And those points between Matt Cohen and Yusuke are pretty close. And then finally, Adwin needs a little bit of help with the win. He needs Matt Cohen and Yusuke to lose if he wins, or he could have Yusuke and Joel both lose and surpass Joel in points, which he's already ahead by 35. So he does have a bit of a head start there. So two scenarios, but basically he needs Yusuke to lose. To stay alive.
Which I mean, playing against Ian,
definitely possible.
Could happen.
Definitely possible. All right, Joel. This is your big matchup. Win or go home. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So I think my team's in a little bit better shape than this past week. I get my 2 Carolina Panthers back. They were on bye last week. I think that week when they played the Falcons, DJ Moore and Foreman combined for like 60 points. And I've been keeping them in the lineup, hoping that would happen again. And that hasn't gotten nowhere close to that.
Against Seattle?
Yeah.
That could be high scoring.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm probably going to have, I have both of them in the lineup now. I'll probably keep them in. It's too bad that Dallas Goedert is out. That was a pretty big hit. But Dulcich did pretty well last week.
It did just fine for you. Just fine against me.
Yeah. Mahomes should be solid. Cook as well. He hasn't been super reliable this year, but he's got a pretty high floor. And Keenan Allen looks like he's returning pretty well, so hopefully get a good game from him. And praying that Joe Mixon comes back, because really my team needs that boost.
Yeah.
But hopefully Pirine doesn't eat into some of his carries, because he's looked pretty good as well. But yeah, on Matt's side, pretty good team to have Jalen Waddle in your flex. I know Kenneth Walker got hurt last week and Tua is questionable as well, so we'll see.
He's expected to play though. I saw something.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah, other than that, I mean, Jamar Chase, AJ Brown, Mark Andrews, that those chunk of players are pretty scary to face. So we'll see if my luck can continue this week.
So what do you think you need to win? Like what needs to happen for you to win?
I mean, I'd probably need some of my players to overperform. I'll need the Panthers to do pretty well, because I'll probably end up keeping Moore and Foreman in the game, in my lineup. Yeah, I mean, on paper, Matt is clearly favored. Like he's projected to win. He
Only 6.
definitely, yeah, he's got the
Love every
stronger
position,
receivers.
basically.
Yeah, he's got the stronger receivers for sure.
Mm.
And half PPR, like he'd probably rather have the stronger receivers rather than the
Yeah.
stronger running backs, which I probably have stronger running backs. But not feeling too great heading into this matchup, honestly. Just, I mean, that's how it's been every week this year, and I've been able to eke out some wins though. So
Yeah, so you pulled it out so far. So would
And
not be surprised to see you get another
yeah,
one.
even if you lose, as you said, you could still get in. You could get some help from both me and Ian, and maybe get in that way.
yeah.
We'll see. Anthony, your matchup?
Yeah, I would say I got Alex, and I'm not. I mean, I'm probably going to lose realistically. I need a QB. I need a defense, so that's why my projection is so garbage right now. But I mean, I'm not really anticipating anything good out of this, and I don't think it really changes anything. I guess Alex is like 99%, but even if I beat him, I don't really think there's much of a difference in anything that happens. So
It's between me and
I'm
you.
kind of out of it. Yeah. This is
Relax.
more, I guess, really, it's more of a last place thing. I need to win this game and hopefully have you lose so that I can like just have the same record as you going into the losers bracket so that hopefully,
Unfortunately.
you know, we can end up, hopefully I end up not with the last record and I don't have to do whatever, or I just don't have to pay extra. I guess I really
That's a
don't.
punishment. Yeah.
I would rather not. So hopefully I can win this matchup and avoid myself some trouble down the road. But my team is garbage and it hasn't won at all this year. So not expecting a win here.
You never know. My matchup, I also, like you, don't have a quarterback. I'm definitely not playing Brady this week against San Francisco. That's gonna be brutal.
Pick up Baker. Baker on Thursday.
You gonna start against the Raiders?
I don't know.
I doubt it. But I'm glad to have Hop and Marquise Brown back. I'm gonna just play them both. I don't really have much hope. I'm thinking about playing Cam Akers too. He kind of came back last week. We'll get into that later. But I also my running backs have tough matchups again. I feel like I picked up the wrong two running backs in trades, ETN and Chubb, and they're playing Tennessee and Cincinnati. That's just brutal. Like I'll probably get 10 each a person, and I'll be pissed off again. But it is what it is. I need to beat Adwin. I'm playing a lot of my former players. So it'll be a little bit brutal seeing Amon-Ra probably and Pollard kill me there. But we'll see. I need a win to stay out of contention for last place. So hopefully I win. All right. Here it is, Joel.
All right, Joel. So we're glad that we were able to get you on before the end of the season. You're right. I mean, multiple guests have ragged on your team, so it's nice to have you on, to have you, I guess, confirm the, just the bias or, kind of how lucky your team has been this year. But you're in the playoffs, you're hanging on by a thread still, and you might make it. Who knows? You might make it.
Yeah. I mean, if the luck continues, I'll make it, and who knows, could possibly make a run, but don't want to go that far. Yeah, my team this year has really just gotten very lucky.
Hey, you know what? Luck wins championships. So, I mean, you're in better position than us. I mean, I wish I was in your position, not gonna lie.
Yes.
So take it for granted. You never know what'll happen. Best of luck the rest of the season, Joel.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming on. See you later, Joel.
See ya.
All right.
We did all the guests.
Yeah, I'll say we made it through.
The back
8
there.
out of 8 people.
There we go.
I didn't think that we were going to make it through everyone, but we did. We did it. Like, I'm impressed. I'm glad that we made it through everyone. So
Proud of us.
we'll get on to our
and everyone in the league.
final waiver wires of the regular season. For me, top one is Tyler Huntley. Taylor Huntley.
Sounds right.
Okay. I need a quarterback. He's probably going to be mine because Lamar is gone now. And when he's played before, I mean, he's played just as well, if not better, as Lamar. He fits into that system well. He knows the system well. He's one of the top backups in the league. And, you can't expect, I'm not saying I'm expecting 25, 30 points, something crazy, but he can give you a solid 15, in the teens amount of points and, just be a solid fill-in for Lamar however long he's out. So he's definitely my pickup this week. And going into the playoffs, depending on how long Lamar is out, Huntley could be a solid fill-in for you if you need it.
Definitely. I'm going to try to go for Huntley too. So you never know who will get him there. I think another guy on that same level is, I think it's Brock Purdy. I don't know if it's Brock or Brad.
Yeah,
whatever.
I think it's Brock.
He's going in
Mr. Irrelevant
with the number one offense in football, and he's going to be throwing 2 touchdown passes a game probably with that offense, at least one, probably 100 yards. He's someone to consider picking up as well. But
and McCaffrey's probably going to benefit a lot. I feel like it's going to be a lot of McCaffrey checkdowns, a lot of Kittle checkdowns. I guess for you this week, that may not be too good, but
definitely not.
Some of those guys are going to benefit a lot from that.
Yeah. And the last waiver wire guy, he hasn't been a waiver at all this year in our league, but he has been in multiple other leagues I'm in. It's Cam Akers. I've held on to him all year, but he finally showed up last week. He's had his best game of this season. I think it was 18 points, 2 touchdowns. I mean, against a bad Seahawks run defense, but I mean, if he's a waiver wire, if he's a free agent in your league, definitely go get him. Definitely pick him up. He's going to be getting carries. Even Kyron Williams, I think he's worth picking up. He'll probably be getting carries too. Just someone to pick up if you need depth for a playoff push. I mean, they're out, but they'll keep running the ball. They don't really care. Someone to go pick up. Not in our league, but go get him.
All right. So we've made it to the end of the regular season. I guess we have one more matchup this week. We are hoping to see you next week with the playoff matchup, with the people matched up for the first round matchups of the playoffs. But we don't know if that will happen. Schedules, it's a lot of people at the end of the regular season. We got all the guests on, so we're happy for that. We're happy that we made it here, but going forward, we're not sure what exactly is going to be next. There will be at least one more episode, 100%. We'll finish it off. We'll let you know who won at the very least, but we like to give you guys some insight.
Everything.
Yes, we'll give you a full. We'll break it all down later. Don't worry. But
get you ready for next year. And I mean, we both got last. We're bouncing back next year. No way we both
exactly. Look, come on. I'm already starting. The scouting for next year, the draft strategy. Come on. We're ready. We're ready.
We're already prepping for next year. We're out. We're tanking for Wembanyama at this point.
I'm acquiring draft picks, looking at the lottery odds. We're figuring stuff out. But
for now,
we're glad that we made it through the regular season. Glad that we did this for now. We'll see you maybe next week, if not at the end of our regular season. But yeah, we'll see you soon, regardless.
See you soon. Thanks for joining, guys.